All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Timmy B, host of the Fight Insight podcast, and today I am Bam Bam-less. There's no Brian Bam Bam Barberina here today, but I have a all-new special guest co-host. He was supposed to be a guest, but we have pumped him up to the main event. This is AJ All Day Hotchkins.
Timmy B, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight Podcast.
The 2-0 pro, undefeated AJ All Day Hotchkins coming off Fury 109 just this past weekend. Dude, I've met you before a few times on Millions. I always said I wanted to have you on the podcast because you're such a cool dude, and I wanted to be able to have longer time to talk to you, you know?
No doubt, no doubt.
And what better way, man, than to do it coming off that dominant victory, man. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I feel great, man. I feel good, and ready to go here again soon. Hopefully they turn me around real soon. They find me an opponent, and we get back out there, man. That's the best part about coming home and after a dominant performance, no scrapes, no bruises, no really nothing at all. So yeah, man, I'm back to training and I'm back to work. And
What was the end score in that decision? It was 30-26.
30-26, brother.
Dude, it could have been a 30-25 or a 30-24. It was domination, man. And look, I was so happy for you. Here's the thing. I will say I was watching the weigh-ins, and people may not realize looking at you now in this shirt, but you have abs on top of abs on top of obliques on top of obliques. You are a freaking shredded monster.
I appreciate that, brother.
But the guy you were facing, man, he was equally a specimen. He was much taller than you, but
Right.
he was not giving up muscle with that height. I mean, that guy was a huge dude. Were you surprised at how big this guy was?
Nah, you know what? I had seen him. He came to CFC here in El Paso, and to be honest, like when I saw him at the weigh-ins, he looked smaller. Well, obviously because we had cut weight, but
Sure.
he looked much smaller than when I had seen him at CFC. At CFC, he was a big dude, man, for sure. But yeah, I don't think people understand. Like I mean, I'm making 185. I'm a big 185er too. Like when I'm in like out of camp, I'm like 215, 220. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of compact, and he was a little bit more spread out. But no, yeah, he was a strong dude, man. He's a great athlete, bro. And I think I said that on our when we were breaking down the fight a little bit
Yeah.
before the fight, man, is that I thought he was a top prospect, and that's why I wanted to fight. I thought he's a great athlete, and so to go out there and test myself against someone like him, big, long, explosive man, like he's been flatlining guys, and so. Yeah, man, to go out there and dominate the way I did, man, it feels awesome.
It's absolutely incredible, man. And so, and for those that did not watch the fight, it's on Fury 109. It's easy to get because it's right there on Fight Pass. So just turn on your Fight Pass, type in Fury 109, watch that main card, and he's the first fight of that card. Look, Fury is going to be your home for the next foreseeable future until you get the Dana White Contender Series call up.
Yeah, we'll see. My contract's 1 year. We're approaching 1 year, and so or 4 fights. So then we'll kind of sit down and we'll see what's best moving forward. But yeah, no,
Nice.
Fury's been great, man. So they've got me the fights that I wanted, and hopefully they turn me around, like I said, fast, man. Hopefully November 9th is what they're talking about. So hopefully we get a quick turnaround and we just get right back into camp and we get to do it again. So had a great time, and Fury's been awesome.
It's a nice Christmas present for the family and kids to watch their dad go out there and whoop ass again. Do your kids watch it?
They do watch it. Yeah, they do watch. Yeah. My 3-year-old, he's starting to understand a little bit more. But it's still kind of like abstract that, like, I don't know if he understands that that's like me right now in the cage, but yeah, man, they love it. My wife loves it. And so, yeah, they like to watch, and, they come with me to the gym. And so they're pretty accustomed, like seeing like the fighting and stuff like that. So they love it.
Right. And it's good, man, because like I mean, for you, it's good to have your kids around it because it teaches them about respect, right? Like it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a martial arts lifestyle. Yeah, not everybody's respectful though. I'm pretty respectful, I'd say, but Yeah, some of the guys in the fight game are a little bit disrespectful. I think like in the name calling and stuff like that. But for me, yeah, I'm always a professional. I just show up and do my work and enjoy my work, and that's what I did September 7th. So
Yeah. And of course, like, look, we talked about it before, but now that you're on this podcast, obviously Dana White Contender Series is the goal for you. Like, that's what you're working towards. You said, like, hey, Dana White wants big guys that put down like you do. You're always action, you're always excitement, you're always big money on the card. So, like, this is the thing, right? You're trying to say, like, hey, Dana White, take a look at this guy and let's get me on the Contender Series.
yeah, I just say it, and if not, if it doesn't happen, immediately it'll be okay. I just keep getting better and growing and keep going out there and just proving myself. Taking out the best prospects that I could find, and eventually, it'll happen. It's a marathon and not a sprint. And
Yeah.
really, for me, I just control the things that I can control. I can't control what Dana White thinks or who they have on the Contender Series. I just go control, how hard I work and just showing up and being prepared and seizing all the opportunities that are put in front of me. So,
Speaking about being prepared, I want to ask you about this because this happened, of course, on the weekend. Do I have the photo of it? Boom. Your boy Kelvin Gastelum, a fellow 185er, but this guy is not making weight, my man. What are you thinking
yeah,
about the Kelvin Gastelum issue?
I think he's missed weight a few times, man. And he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter, but I don't know what's going on with him. I think when you miss weight, I think it's a sign of lack of discipline, whether that be in your camp or whether that just be like like moments before the weigh-in. Like some guys, I think maybe just break. I pride myself on showing up and making weight, and I think Kelvin Gastelum's had this problem before, even at 170. He's fought at 170, so he can make
Yep.
185. And to show up 6 pounds overweight, that's a lot of weight. So I don't. I mean, everything I would say right now would be speculation, but again, like I just think it's a sign of lack of discipline. When guys choose not to make weight, because it really is a choice most of the time.
Right.
It can't be unsafe. Say you stop sweating or something in the sauna. I mean, maybe at that point, you call it. I don't know what his situation was, but we do know that he can make 170, so he could definitely make 185.
Yeah, I mean the thing is too, and Bam Bam and I were talking about it because we've been, there's been so many weight issues of late, like just in MMA in general. Our guest last week, AJ, she fought a girl. She wore weights onto the scale in order to make weight because her opponent was so heavy. They kept increasing the weight. She had to wear weights to get on the scale without anybody knowing. She was fighting a girl like 25 pounds heavier because the girl just wouldn't make weight and could not make weight. So
Wow, how did that go for her?
she lost because of doctor stoppage. She's winning the fight 4 rounds into the 5 rounds BKB, and then she gets a cut that the doctor stops it.
Oh, no way.
I mean,
So
so
she's
she's
still
winning.
she's Yeah, so she's still competing. Compete. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
25 pounds is a lot. Like, there's a reason why the
dude.
commission won't allow that to happen. Like that's a
Oh,
lot of weight. Even if you
it's
miss by five, I mean, that's a lot of weight. Like 5 pounds is a lot. That's not even like two and a half
no,
pounds. Like five is a lot of weight.
no, and this was like a 25-pound difference, man. And when you see the photos, I deleted it off my screen now, but like I could show you the photos. It literally, like, the other girl looks like a heavyweight, and she looks like a flyweight. Like, it's crazy the
Yeah, it's
difference.
crazy.
But here's the
Yes.
thing with Kelvin, and I do love Kelvin, man. I met my wife and
Yeah, he
I.
fought really well, man. He fought really well. He seems like
Oh,
I don't know him. He seems like a nice guy, but
dude, a
you
great guy.
come in 6 pounds over, it's kind of disrespectful, to your
Well,
opponent, is what I see
it's
it.
a problem, and I do want to preface this with Kelvin Gastelum. I met him at King's MMA in California. My wife and I were on vacation, and we saw him there training for Anderson Silva at the time. He was going to fight Anderson Silva back in the day, and we went to the
Uh-huh.
gym. We met him. He took photos with my wife and I. Super super nice guy. Like, I love him. But here's the thing, man. Should he get cut from the UFC now? Multiple misses. There are plenty of fighters like AJ Hotchkins that would love that shot at the UFC, make weight and be there. How many times do you miss weight before the UFC cuts you?
I don't know, man. I think it really depends on what type of fight you're putting on. He puts on good fights and he's down,
Yeah.
because he's had some tough fights, like where he's taking tough fights. And he's a name, in the UFC, so I don't know. Maybe they just put up with it. You know, I think everybody is for well, I mean, for everybody it's different. You know, if you don't have a very exciting style, you don't put on very exciting fights. I would assume, your leash is much shorter than someone that goes out there, stands, bangs, and always puts on exciting fights and is down to take, whatever fights offered or available. You know, and I think that's what keeps Kevin Gastelum going. But yeah, 6 pounds is a lot of weight. It's bad for the
And
sport. You know.
it's sick. Yeah. And I like what you're saying because it's his attitude as well. He is a super nice guy, man. Like he's very, very friendly, very nice. Like you say, he's like a legend in the game, man. The guy's been around forever, one tough season, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then you look at people like Sam Alvey, friend of the podcast, had him on multiple times. He was on like what was it, like an 8-fight losing streak, and they kept signing him, kept giving him fights, and that's because Sam Alvey's like one of the nicest people on the planet. So in a way,
same thing with like Kevin Holland, man. It really doesn't matter if he wins or loses. He's putting on great fights, you know.
right,
He's exciting to watch. He's entertaining. Kevin Holland's fighting, I'm gonna watch, you know.
yeah,
So I think that's an element of it too, you know. And
yeah,
do they show up and they do the right thing, make weight? You know, they're nice, they're easy to deal with, they accept fights. You know, I'm sure. Again, I'm brand new to this game, so I'm just making assumptions here. But I would assume that would help you out, you know, in the long term in the UFC. You know, that's what I
yeah.
think.
Gives you the credit, right? Like, and AJ, we talk all the time about like just the importance of being a good person and having a good attitude and being friendly and respectful. And like, so yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just that Kelvin Gastelum factor, the fact that he puts on great fights, the fact that he's there to fight, the fact that he's a nice guy, and then they go, okay, fine. What I will say though is that if his opponent didn't accept the fight, it
That'd
could
be
be a whole
yeah.
different could be a whole
It'd be a
different
whole
story.
different story. Now it looks really bad. Yeah, now it looks really
Right.
bad.
The
6 pounds
the
is a lot of weight too. You can't blame the opponent if they don't want to fight. You know.
But then the problem is the opponent might get negatively impacted because they go, well, you chose not to fight. So that's always a difficult situation too for the guy that did make weight.
Right.
There's a bit of pressure for you to accept it, you know?
Right, for sure. Well, also you made weight and you've done all the work, and then you get there and your opponent misses. It's kind of like you did all the work, you know, and you want to collect your check too, you know. It's the
Exactly.
way
Yeah,
I see
that's
it.
right. Yeah. Like, what are you supposed to do? Now, let's go to another news story, my man. I normally talk about conspiracies. And so I did a conspiracy of the week, maybe a couple of weeks ago. And I had said, you might not be able to see this on your screen, but I'll read it out. I said that Conor McGregor, even if he's able to secure the ballot for presidency of Ireland, a scandal will arise and he will be removed from contention. And I said the powers that will be would never allow him to run for president. And I don't know if you saw the news, man. He has already withdrawn from his presidential run. Did you know that?
Nah, brother. You know, honestly, I don't follow much like MMA like news, to be honest with you. But I mean, if Donald Trump could do it, man, like why can't Conor McGregor? You know, but I
Dude,
will say, he's a little bit where with like McGregor, man, like that dude's kind of went off the deep end, man, a little bit. You know, just with all the stuff that he's doing, man. So
yeah.
it's a little
Nope.
bit different than the Trump situation. But I'm saying, as far as like not being in politics and being like world famous and then
Yeah.
running for election, I don't know, anything's possible. But um
Exactly.
yeah, but I agree with you too. Also, like the powers that be may not. I mean, I think they do whatever they can, to keep that stuff like minimized.
Yeah.
Like the Donald Trump stuff. Even here in America. So,
Because
um,
because I agree with you though. I think like had he gone into it, I think he would win, man. I think just based on the craziness of it and the fact that he's
yeah,
like so pro Ireland. You know what I mean? Like I think like people would
yeah, he's
probably vote for him.
charismatic too. He's the guy. He's the guy in
Yeah.
Ireland for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
so anyways, generally it took about a week after he announces he's running to now where he said, I've thought about it and I will not run. I'm telling you right now, something happened. I
That dude's
no
on
way.
that dude's on his Lamborghini yacht, bro. That's what happened. He took his Lamborghini yacht out and was like, I'm good.
Why would I want to give up this life?
Yeah, man, that dude's living great, man. You know what? I was so happy. I'll tell you what I was happy about when he did like pulled up and did a seminar. He bounced off the Lamborghini yacht and like did a seminar a couple weeks, maybe like a month ago now. and I was happy to see that, man. I wish he would kind of get back on like the I mean, this is like my opinion, but like the right track. This is my perspective, you know, and like start giving back to the martial arts community and start being like the McGregor actually got me into the sport. I love McGregor, you know, young McGregor, and so yeah, man, it's kind of sad to see what's going on with him now, but also he has a Lamborghini yacht. You know, I've never had a Lamborghini yacht myself, so
No,
who am
no.
I to say? You know.
Hey, you know what? I'll have a podcast with you next year, and you'll be on your Lamborghini yacht, and then we'll talk about it. Then we'll see.
Let's do it, bro. We need some 50K bonuses, bro. Sooner
That's
than
it,
later to the
dude. But
Lamborghini yacht.
get the hell out of here. By the time you're in UFC next year, that 50K bonus better have risen with that 17 or 77 billion dollar investment or whatever the hell that was. Like, dude, better be more
Yeah,
than 50K.
I don't follow anything, bro. Do you think that that's going to help the pay in the sport?
No, I don't think so at all.
You don't think so,
we
huh?
I don't know, man. We talked about it, and it's like, you know what? If my I don't know how to phrase it in a different way, but like if my local hamburger store starts to do really well, they don't reduce the price of their hamburgers. You know what I mean? Like the what they pay out or what they or how much they pay their servers. Like it's the going rate of the market is what they're going to pay, and of course fighters will want to fight for more pay, but I don't know. I just don't see how they're going to increase the dollar. Do you think it's going to
Yeah.
change the contracts?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. No, I'm probably not. You know, I think the UFC does a lot of reinvestment. You know, I think this is just the way it is. Because when you think about it, it's only been around what, like 32 years, 31 years, or something like that. So I think they do a really good job of like elevating the sport every year. You know, and I think
Yeah.
that's where the majority of the money goes, and then probably to other stuff too, but not so much to the fighters. Did you see freaking Canelo and Crawford, man, those dudes got paid. I guess
Okay.
supposedly Jake Paul and Tank is supposed to be like $200 million guaranteed. They said that's what I just. It was a headline that I read. I mean, you can fact check me on that. I don't know, but
No, no. Look,
yeah,
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna fact check a guy with 37 abs. You know what I mean? Like I'll let you say whatever it is, and we'll disagree with it. But
yeah, I
here,
could
let
be
me
wrong.
say.
I could be wrong.
Okay, but let me say this though. I did see the numbers, and it was the post that I saw was comparing the Canelo and Alvarez fight, or whoever it was, Canelo and whatever.
To the whole UFC roster, right?
No, versus the Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marab, and they were showing like it was like 100 and I think it was something like 140 million versus 1.8 million or something. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
my problem is, AJ, where does how does the boxing event make that much money? Where are they possibly making that much
Dog, I
money?
don't know. I don't know. That one they did fill up a stadium. Okay, so that one makes sense. But like I'm saying, like if you just compare, like, I don't know, like Bivol versus Better Beef, like, right, like that was a big fight. I think that was in like Saudi Arabia or something.
Right.
Versus like the fights that they do in the UFC in Saudi Arabia. What's the, you know what I mean? Why are the boxers getting paid way more? And that's again, like my theory is that it's reinvested. I think they're doing a lot of reinvestment, which makes sense for a newer sport, you know. But
No. But wait a
I don't know,
second.
bro.
Okay, wait, hold on. This angle is different then. You're saying you think that the UFC, based on what they make for that event in Saudi Arabia, you think they could afford to pay the fighters like the 100 million or whatever?
I think they could. Yeah. Well,
No.
no, maybe not that much, but they definitely could pay the fighters more, I think. Well, what do you think? You don't think so? You think that
I think
boxing does? Do you think boxing makes more money than MMA, like per
no,
event?
but that's what I mean. I don't understand where it comes from. Like if like when I see the boxers fighting, but even you know what, take it down a notch. Take it to like one of those Jake Paul fights, which are not in stadiums, right? They're just in normal venues. How
Right.
much like where are they earning all that money to be able to pay those fighters that money? Like
I
it's
don't
not
know,
even like
bro.
that's what I mean. Like I'm like, are they running at a loss? Like where's all this money even coming from that they could pay those guys that kind of dollar amount? It just doesn't even make sense to me.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
need I
I
need to
understand what you're saying. Yeah, like I'm saying, like Yeah, where are they getting that money? Yeah, I think you're right because I don't think they're making that money.
Well, and then think about it, especially when you think like that event, the Canelo one was on Netflix. So it's not like you're getting pay-per-view sales. So unless Netflix gave you hundreds and hundreds of millions to air that on Netflix, then where were you get like there's no commercials even. You're not even getting commercial revenue. Like where the
Yeah, I
frig?
don't know, bro. Like honestly, like we'd have to. I'm not. I don't know about the boxing, like the game of boxing, bro. I really. But yeah, you make a good point. Like, where's that money even coming from? You're
I
right, bro.
have, dude,
I don't
I have
know.
no idea. Speaking about Saudi Arabia, speaking about money, and I know, okay, you might not be in the news, but have you heard that WrestleMania 43 is going to be in Saudi Arabia?
No, I did not hear
Do you
that.
do you care about wrestling at all?
I mean, me and my family watched the last WrestleMania,
Yeah,
and I
okay,
thought it
on
was cool.
Netflix?
Like, yeah, I grew up. I watched it a little bit. Yeah, it was on
Sure.
Netflix, right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, I mean, no, I think they're great athletes, man. Like, I think they're people under because like it's fake or whatever, but the moves that they're doing are real. So, I mean, I can
Yeah.
appreciate it as like it's choreographed, but it still requires a ton of athletic ability. So. But as far as it not being here in America, I mean, I prefer it to be here in America. But I'm an
So
American, bro.
of, of course you are, damn it. So
You know.
one of the things that's funny though that people are complaining about, and the reason why I brought it up is because they're moving into Saudi Arabia and people are complaining and they're saying, well, now you're just trying to milk it for the money. WrestleMania is supposed to be about the people. It's supposed to be about giving back to the families and the fans that are like watching this and growing up. Why would you move it to Saudi Arabia?
It's not about the people and the fans. It's
Yeah.
about the money, bro.
Totally right. Like it's yeah, like in this case, I really think it's about like the millionaires and the sheiks and the princes in Saudi Arabia going, we want freaking WrestleMania here, bring it,
Yeah, I think so too, bro. I think money talks, bro. So,
and
you
that's
know,
it.
yeah, I mean, bro, I mean, it's not about the people. They're fooling themselves if they think that. That's an
Yeah,
emotional take.
yeah.
Because it's not, bro. It's about the bottom line, bro. They're trying to,
But it is
you know,
sad though, right? Like, but here's the thing though, AJ. So now let's relate it back to MMA and stuff. That's why I get so mad that they have fights in the Apex because I'm like, when you have fights in the Apex 12 people get to go watch. Your family can't go watch, AJ. They only give you like 2 tickets. And guess what? The 2 people that you're allowed to bring, they have to leave after your fight. You can't even watch the rest of the fights. So,
wow.
like, when they do that, it bothers me because I'm like, why don't you go bring it to local markets and let people's friends, families, new fans, new
By
people
local
go
markets,
watch?
you mean just like anywhere, like just a
Like,
stadium.
yeah, like Cincinnati, Philadelphia, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Wherever. But bring it to the people because that's who's supporting you. It's a money thing when the UFC holds the events in the Apex because they don't have to do anything. We have all the cameras set up. It's all here.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. That's
and
what it is, bro. I mean, I haven't really given that any thought, but yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's like the production and all their costs like lower, probably like divided by two, or
but
three maybe. You know?
more like it's their own
Yeah.
venue. They don't have to do any rental. They have to do nothing. The chairs are
Yeah, you don't
set
have
up probably.
to rent anything out. Yeah, the security, everything. Yeah, from top to
Yeah.
bottom is it's gonna be cheaper. Yeah, you're right.
I've
I
I've
mean,
never I've never seen one guy in the Apex eating a hot dog either. So I don't think they have any vendors or nothing.
I haven't either, bro. You're right.
Yeah, no, nobody's throwing popcorn,
Yeah,
Look,
no,
man,
no.
let me get to something else here. Hold on. Ronda Rousey. Okay, so now we're going on a little bit of a tangent from the UFC, the MMA. Now we're talking about someone who's done both wrestling and MMA. Talking about Ronda Rousey. Have you seen the news about her?
I have not. Fill me in, bro.
Dude, they're talking about Ronda Rousey, whether she should come back for the White House card. She immediately says, "Get the hell out of here." Like, I don't give a crap. And I don't know whether that's political, I don't give a crap, or just like, I don't want to fight. But then she kind of makes a comment saying, like, maybe I would come back. And so fans are like, we want to see Ronda Rousey back.
Right.
before I give my answer, AJ Hotchkins, do you want to see Ronda Rousey back in the octagon?
Not really, to be honest with you, bro. Not really. You know, like, man, like I don't know, like I'm curious, like I love martial arts, and like she's not at the top of her game. So it's like they're doing that because she's an American and they need to like fill, and she's a legend. And again, it comes down to that, and I understand that, but I'm not like, bro, I mean, I'm gonna go take a water break or something, you know, like for the Ronda Rousey fight. If I'm being honest, you know, like I'll tell. No, it's just true. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and like check on the grill or something like that for the Ronda Rousey fight. If I'm being honest, because again, bro, I mean, when's the last time she fought? You know, like when's the like and also by the way, I'm not. Um, I'm like 4 years into training, like 4 years into watching. So I didn't grow up like watching Ronda Rousey, but there's people out there like that probably would be excited to watch her fight. But for me, I'm like, nah, put like Zhang Wei Li on there or something. Like she's a savage, you know, like
Right.
so like I'm like
Right.
put somebody that's at the top of their game. I'll tell you what, that upsets me is that we don't have any Americans in like the pound for like there's really no Americans that I'm like dying to watch right now. Like they're like off the top of my head, I can't name you one. That maybe
Well,
like John Jones, like maybe John Jones could headline, but it kills me that they're talking about everybody else headlining here at the White House. And I'll tell you another thing. America, we're not bringing our best athletes to the sport of mixed martial arts, bro. It's not even close. Our best athletes are going to play American football, number one, basketball, um, baseball, all of the paying sports. So we're not. This is like our D squad, not even our C squad, bro. This is like our
yeah.
D squad that we bring to combat sports. And I'll tell you, because they keep gassing these the Russians and the Dagestanis and the all this, and yeah, they're great fighters. Don't get me wrong, but they're bringing their best athletes to the sport of mixed martial arts, and they have warrior culture, and so they come over here and they dominate. And sure, but yeah, let's put Micah Parsons out there. Give Micah Parsons like 3 years of MMA training, he would dominate the light heavyweight division, like just because he's that level of athlete. And again, like when you see me step into the cage, like I'm not even the highest level of football athlete, but in the sport of mixed martial arts, I'm in the top 1%, just as far as athletic talent goes. And then you see me go in there and I dominate guys, and that's a big reason why we're bringing our C squad to the fight game. You know, I know that that's a tangent. We're about Ronda Rousey, but my point is that Ronda Rousey's they're trying to they're trying to find somebody that could represent the United States of America, bro. Who's
Right.
another American fighter like right now? That's like
Sean O'Malley.
yeah, Sean O'Malley, bro. I'm a fan. I like Sean O'Malley, but
Dude, I no, but here, I like listen,
I
I
like
hear
Sean
you, man.
O'Malley, bro, but he just lost to twice in a row
Yeah,
to
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
so my point is like there's like you got Islam, you got Tapourier, you got Barra, you got all these guys from that region like in the top pound for pound list, you know? We used to have
Yeah.
John Jones no more. We don't have any great American fighters right now.
It's
That
funny
would
that it's funny, and I love what you're saying, dude. I love what you're saying about bringing our C-level athletes in because of
sure,
the financial opportunity for the other sports.
correct.
Because you're very, very right, man. As you're growing up and you're an athlete and you're a high-level athlete, a lot of times what happens is you're good at multiple sports, and at some point in your career, you have to choose what you're going to do, right?
Correct.
I always remember there was a very famous PGA golfer, and they had said that he was like super high level in another sport as well. Like he was winning like major PGA tournaments, but apparently like he was either a really good tennis player or a basketball player, whatever the hell it was. And it was like, yeah, but he could have gone pro both ways. But those are two multi-million-dollar sports he's choosing between. So
Yeah. Well,
even
he
if this
never
guy was
thought. Bottom line, he never thought about wrestling. I'll tell you that much. Like wrestling, bro.
right,
Daniel Cormier said he had scholarship offers for football too. He's like, I'm good. Like I'm gonna go wrestle because those guys are too fast. Like those guys are too strong. He said
right,
something along those lines, and it's the truth, bro. Like he's a phenomenal athlete in wrestling.
yeah,
Like, bro, like what sport? And I like Henry Cejudo. I'm not talking bad about these guys, but like, what
no, no,
sport
no,
would
of
he have
course.
played? What sport would Henry Cejudo have played? He could only wrestle and box, bro. That's it, bro.
No, no,
Um,
no. Henry Cejudo,
Henry
he's
Cejudo.
He's amazing at pickleball.
All right, pickleball, bro. That I don't know how much pickleball. That's my point. He would have never. He would have never played football, not a day in his life after
Right,
third
right.
grade, because
Yeah.
he's just not. He just can't, bro. Like there's certain guys in the top 10, like in the like even just I'm saying just to be able to play American football from an
Yeah.
athletic standpoint. Like you look at the top 10 in middleweight, and you're like, okay, like Israel Adesanya, okay, like Imov, maybe I don't know. Like I'm saying at a high level, I'm like, okay, Drakus, yeah, he probably could have played some American football. Hamza probably could have played some American. I'm saying, but these are the top. This is the top 10. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
once you drop off from that, man, you just got like good fighters. Like you know, what I'm saying like they're good fighters. They got good skill, but they're missing a huge element of like you know like the athletic, the just being a great athlete. You know, and I think that again, we're bringing our C squad at best, bro. Even American wrestlers, bro. Those are guys that couldn't play football, bro. They could not
Right.
play football, so they
Right.
wrestled. You know what I mean? It's just the truth. And then when you go over to the Russian regions, the Dagestanis, all those guys, like that's and again, like this is just my opinion, but those guys, like that's their number one thing, man. Is like wrestling, is
Right.
combat sports, is warrior culture, and so good
Right.
on them. I'm not hating on them or anything. I'm just saying, I'm excited to get in there with some of those guys, and we'll see about it. You know, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying because I'm a different level of athlete. I'm fast. I'm strong. I'm explosive. I have everything. I'm in the top 1% of athletes in MMA is what I feel. And like in football, I was like maybe like at the like Power 5 level in college or like at the NFL level, I'd be like bottom tier. Because
Right.
bro,
Right.
you
Right.
put
Right. Right.
Jalen Ramsey in there. Imagine if Jalen Ramsey was fighting at like 170, 155, bro. That dude is a freak. Like there's
Yeah.
some freaks, bro. If you
But
just go watch football like, or basketball too, bro. Look how many like Jamal Hill was a college basketball player, like at
yeah.
probably average, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, he went on a championship run in MMA. You know what I
But
mean?
so
Just
what
off
you're saying, but
having
so
good
what you're
footwork and
saying is
power.
that what you're saying is that we need to invest more into the sport,
Correct.
both
Yeah.
from a government funding perspective, but also from the grassroots level, right? Like the organizations need to continue to grow. That's why it is important that we have lots of organizations around the world supporting this sport because it needs to grow. You can't have
Yeah.
just the
I agree.
UFC there because then, to our earlier point,
Nobody's pushing.
there's no reason for them to increase the pay if there's no
Right.
competition. That's why we need
Right.
organizations. I am going to take
Right.
one brief second to mention something though, because we're talking about other organizations. AJ Hotchkins, what are you doing this Saturday, my man? You should be watching Fight League Atlantic 21. It's an organization out on East Coast Canada, my man. Fight League Atlantic. I do commentary there. I'm going to be there this weekend. I'm not doing commentary, but I'm going to be on the sides and doing interviews with the athletes. It's a great Canadian promotion out on the East Coast. Saturday, September 20th, out at Pictou, Nova Scotia, on the beautiful water in Pictou. It's beautiful, man. Great Canadian athletes, my man. They're all chasing their dream, just like you.
Okay. All right, man. Maybe I'll check. You got any middleweights on the card?
Go. Wait, what weight is middleweight? 155? No.
185. 185.
185?
Or 205. Yeah, they got any good middleweights on the card, you know?
I don't know if there's anyone that heavy. I feel like 175. I think there's a 175.
Okay.
But dude, great athletes, man, and I love this organization. And this is what I'm saying: we need more organizations like this, and we need all the friggin' fans out in Nova Scotia to get over here, support these kids, so that they can see it as a real option. You know what I mean? So that they
I
don't
agree.
go and decide, hey, I'm going to go play football. Forget that. And what's funny is there's a guy making his debut this weekend. He played for the CFL. His name is Matt Watson. So he was in the Canadian Football League for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and he's fighting his first MMA fight over at Fight League Atlantic.
Is it amateur or pro?
Both. It's amateur and pro. This guy that I'm talking about, Matt Watson, it's an amateur fight, I believe. It's his first amateur, but he was drafted to the CFL
might check.
in
Okay, I'll
2020.
check. That gives me a reason right there. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
he's going to do great.
Dude, I'm very excited because this is what we're talking about, though. This is the new breed of athlete where, okay, they've been superstar athletes in another thing, and now they're making the transition over. And I want to see if this dude is like a specimen. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
FightLeagueAtlantic.com. That's where you get your tickets, guys. Go to FightLeagueAtlantic.com. I love those guys. What else did I want to talk to you about real quick, if you don't mind? what was okay? So for the Ronda Rousey thing, I didn't get to my point on this.
Yeah. We didn't even hear. What do you got, bro? What do you think?
She's one of to me, she's like the greatest of all time. Like to me in MMA, she's like up there with like Hoist Gracie. Like if it wasn't for her, I really don't know where MMA would be. Like she's carried it for a long time, especially women's MMA. Like she's a superstar legend. I don't like AJ when they bring legends out just to get their ass whooped.
Yeah, that could
Dude,
happen.
she's had I don't know, one kid, two kids. She's out there on a farm with her husband. She just wrote a comic book which looks pretty cool. What do you need to bring her out to get
No,
whooped
that's
by,
what I said, bro. I
by
mean, that's
frigging
another good
Kayla
reason.
Harrison or some shit?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Where's Kayla Harrison at? She's the
Yeah,
best
well,
American we got right now. Her and John Jones. I don't know what John Jones is doing, but Kayla Harrison and John Jones,
we
right?
we, we all know what
And then
John
O'Malley,
Jones is doing.
and then
We
O'Malley.
all
O'Malley's probably third.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, but like, look, we need characters and we need people. But like you said, I'm going to ask you one thing because you're a new pro. Where was the Fury fight? What city was it? Houston?
Houston,
No.
Houston, yeah,
Yeah,
Houston.
Houston. Did you know that there is an MMA pension in the state of California?
No, I didn't know that.
See, here's something that if people watch the Fight and Sight podcast, you would learn stuff. Okay, we had on an assembly member from California who tabled a bill, and there is currently an MMA pension in California. Even if you don't live in California, if you every time you fight in California, you earn towards a pension when you retire, and
Okay.
it's legit. Like there's something going on right now there. So all I'm saying, I know that you're fighting for Fury and all that, but if opportunities come up to fight in California, look into the fact that they have an MMA pension there. You don't have to live there. You can be from anywhere.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
just
even have to
fight
be from
there.
the state.
It's like the NFL. Like if you go play in Florida, they don't take as much taxes like as if you were to play in California. But that's the only
Yeah.
problem in California. They probably take your whole check and your gas money. And
You
then
owe
they put a
them
little
after
bit
you
towards the pension. You'll get it later though.
yeah. If you can never get it. But they do have a thing, man, and I always like to tell like young pros like you, like just so you know that that's a thing where once you fight, and I forget what the guy said, but they were estimating that once you fought like 12 fights, there was some sort of like threshold number that you had to fight, and
Uh-huh.
then once you hit the age, you could collect a pension.
No way. That's interesting. I've never heard of that.
And
That's
here's
not bad.
my goal is to get that around the world. All they need to do is like, I don't know what the government of Houston, Texas is, but they just need to get on board with that and sign up and say, okay, the fights here count as well. And then just start
Right.
rolling that out, man. And that would be a way we get more than C-level athletes as well. If you could tell kids, hey, if you go into MMA, you can actually earn a pension,
Right.
maybe that might
Yep.
get some of those athletes.
We need to get guys wearing like big chains, diamond, driving Porsches and living in mansions. That's why, like, bro. I mean, I'll just be honest, bro. Like, like for my boys, like, I'm like, yeah. Unless the fight pay is different, I'm gonna push them towards something else for sure. Like,
Right.
there's got to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, bro. Armor
Yeah.
Rob St. Brown's dad says that, and it's true. It's like, I mean, like MMA right now is a poor man's sport. I think it will change in the next 20 years, though. I think it's just so fresh. It's
Yeah.
like when the NFL or the NBA first came around, MLB, like like the first 30 years, they weren't getting paid either. They had jobs. Just
Right.
like in MMA, now you hear guys like freaking Pantoja had a job right before he became champion. So he's like
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? But no, I
Yeah.
agree, bro. I just think that the more security there is, like within the profession, the more you could get paid. Like the more we'll start to see better athletes. Like especially from America. Maybe not all
Yeah.
like all these other athletes. Maybe like Brazil. Maybe in Brazil, this is like their second sport. I don't know. I know they got soccer, so maybe their best
Sure.
athletes are soccer players. And then if
Yeah.
they don't make it there, it's like maybe it's MMA or jiu-jitsu or whatever it is.
Right.
And then for sure in Dagestan, man, I feel like those guys are just like they're wrestling and they're doing MMA. That's their way
Right.
out. Whereas there's
Well,
like when you're in America, there's so many different ways, directions you could go.
No, definitely, man. I think, yeah, I think it's the path to success, right? And like, what is my options for success? And then you do it. But this is why, just to go back again, this is why. And like, so if you're a fan of MMA and you're like, I want to see the best in the world, well, it starts with you supporting the young athletes that are doing it now. It starts with you going out to these local events and helping build the sport, because the more it gets built there, it's going to get built up here in the UFC as well, right? Or like other promotions will build.
Yeah, true,
So,
for sure. For
dude,
sure.
I'm excited for it, man. Look, I've kept you way too long. So I
Yeah,
do want
man.
to say, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, dude. Like, look, I'm so happy for you. I think like your star is shining bright, man, and it's just a matter of time. So if you get one more fight in November, that's super exciting. And
No doubt,
then
man. We'll talk
and then
then,
that would,
brother. We'll talk then.
yeah, and that would be 3-0, man. And then like, you head into 2026, and anything is possible for you, my man. I want to ask you one last question before I let you go. I don't think I've asked it to you when I've interviewed you on Millions. It's a question I ask all my guests. It's a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. So I want to ask it to you. AJ, all day Hotchkins, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
I'd say a 9, man. Yeah, I'd say a 9. Pretty
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. I mean, man, I'm blessed, man. Like I wake up, all my needs are met, and I get to do what I love for a living. I love my family. I get to come home, see my family. I'm alive, man. Every day I'm alive, man, is another opportunity, man. And so I love life, and yeah, it's hard to it's hard to give anything a 10. A 10 out of 10, because there's always room for growth and improvement. But man, I live a great life, man. I live a
For
martial
sure.
arts lifestyle, bro. I just get up, I wake up, I train this morning. I'm on here with you. I post content, and then I'm about to go take a nap after this, and go wrestle, and then come home and eat good food, bro. Like what more could I want out of life? So I'm happy, man, and yeah, man, just excited to be living this life, man, and having chose this life. So give you a nine
All
out of
right.
10 on that one, brother.
Dude, I'm so happy, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for this. I was a last minute request, so you are not only a great guest, but you're a great co-host too, my man. And I will hit you up again in the future when I need someone. Thank you so much, my friend. Thanks for all the conversation, dude. It was great. And guys, go watch this man's fight. It's on Fury 109 on UFC Fight Pass. AJ all day. Thanks, my man. Have a good one.
Hey, brother. See you guys. Peace.
Yeah,
See you
buddy. See you
guys.
guys next week.